Hello and welcome to this Manage Methods Classroom Manager video. Today we'll be discussing teacher controls over the classroom. Once you've got your session started and students start populating into the class, you'll quickly be able to see the various tabs the students have open. Hovering over any of the tabs allow you to, if you click on them, set that particular tab as active for the student. You can also click into the specific user and you'll quickly be presented with the various sites the students have open. With that, you have the ability to block any of those specific sites for the duration of the class, and you can also close any of the specific tabs they have open. You'll also see, of course, there's a set active option available too. If for some reason you need to take a screenshot, very easy to do so right here at the bottom, as well as removing the student from the class or again closing that active tab of the student. This close active tab is also available in the main screen that we were just on previously, and I'll show that here in just a moment. If I decide that the student has a specific site that they shouldn't be on, I can simply click the block button here and I can click out of that. That will go ahead and block that particular site for that student. And if the student tries to keep hitting that site, it will go ahead and display the block page for the student. Here at the bottom, I can then again see the take screenshot option, and I can also see the view history, close active tab, or delete for that particular student. The controls of the class itself will be called scenes. With scenes, there will always be a session default scene, and there's always options to search for scenes. So if you do have multiple scenes open, you can certainly search for the specific scene in question. The session default scene is not deletable, and you can click into that to specifically see which sites have been blocked or potentially allowed if you're allowing sites or blocking sites via this session default scene. You do also have an option to block all sites if you want to as well. Furthermore, there is also then a policy section, and the policy section will feature something called focus mode. I'll show an example of a scene that actually has focus mode already turned on, so you can see how that works directly here. But what focus mode does is once that toggle is turned on, only those sites that are explicitly allowed can be accessed by the students, and any sites that are not on that allow list, the platform will automatically close the tabs of. Scenes can also be shared between multiple users as well too. So here we can see there's a viewer role, but I can also give someone editor or entire ownership of a scene as well too. So very easy if you do want to share scenes between multiple different teachers, that's your way of doing so. And if someone doesn't need the scene anymore, they can always be removed from the scene too. And that's specifically for the teachers. If I want to add a scene, I can also create a scene on the fly, which would create a brand new scene here, and I'd be able to set any allow or block lists as needed. But primarily, you'll probably be drawing from your existing scene library. So in this case, I have a scene here called the Earth Science scene, and I can click the Add Session option here, and that will add that to my existing session. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Once I close out of that, I can see now that that scene has been added to my session, and now it is specifically closed other tabs that the students had open. And now just these explicitly allowed tabs are the only ones that the students can access. So everything else, it's gone ahead and close those tabs. You can see all those other tabs are now gone. Once that focus mode is on, they're not going to be able to access anything else except for those allowed sites again. You do have the ability, though, to come in here and modify that, of course. So here we can see I have all sites blocked except for these 4 sites. You can also see here the focus mode has been turned on. And in this case, I'm not sharing this scene with anybody else. This is a unique scene to my class. If I want to, I can also then remove that and release the students back to normal browsing activity, and then they'll be able to hit other websites. So I'll go ahead and do that now. The last component of teacher control here is going to be over on the tabs side. On the tab side here, you'll be able to see the various tabs that the students have open across all your various students. And the number here is going to indicate the number of tabs that that student has open. So for example, if a student has 50 YouTube tabs open for some reason, you could block or close all of those tabs in one click here. Additionally, there's abilities to search. So if you're looking for specific sites the students might be on, you can start searching for it, and it will try to find the closest match that a student has of an actual site open. Additionally, there's an open tab option here, and this allows you to set a specific tab as active. So for example, if I had just wanted everybody to go to google.com here, simply click the submit button here, and it's going to go ahead and force both of my students over here to google.com. And we'll see that reflected here in just a moment. So those will be the basic teacher controls to give you control over the classroom and allow you to specifically restrict what students are doing as needed. Thanks so much for watching this Managed Methods video.